Good morning, everybody. How are you today? I'm a lot better now that it's cooled off a little bit. Yesterday afternoon we had a wonderful rain shower. More than a drizzle, not really a downpour, just a nice shower. And golly, it ushered out that hot, humid weather and brought in a nice high pressure system, clear blue skies, and much cooler temperatures. I think it was 49 last night I saw. And tonight's going to get down to 46. That'll be wonderful. It just makes you want to do stuff outdoors. I'm not going to be able to put in a regular work session down here in the garden today because in about an hour we have to get ready to go, and Danielle has a dentist appointment today. So we're going to have to leave early to do that. But I just love being down in the garden. And all of you gardeners out there, you probably know what I mean. Especially when the weather is wonderful and crisp like it is today. It's just so nice that even though I just have an hour, I just brought the camera down here and to share my hour with you all. And I think Danielle's going to be down here in a few minutes. And I just love being down here in the garden. It's where I like. It's just where I like to be. And I'm just a very simple person. I don't watch TV, and you long-time listeners of the channel know all that already. But I just, I'll just, even if I'm just sitting in a chair or sitting on the bench here, just come down here. Emma's over there listening to me talk, and we got 2 different sets of chickens listening. So this is where it's happening. It's where it's happening. I want to show you a couple things though. If you saw yesterday's video, you know that we hauled the flax bundles outside to get them in the sun to dry. And I want to show you what they look like once they're dried. This is the other batch. I also have a batch in the greenhouse drying up. Now, one of the objects of this game here is, if you look closely, you might see seed bulls at the top end of the flax plants. So we are drying these bundles so that we can perform an operation called rippling, which is like you pull that end of the bundle through a little rake kind of a thing to pull the little seed bulls off. And then once that's accomplished, we're going to lay the bundles of flax out in the field. They call it the field, so to speak. It's, in our case, it'll be the lawn. I'll freshly mow a section of lawn, and we're going to lay the bundles out on that lawn. I'll explain it fully when that day comes. It'll be in a couple weeks probably, but that we're going to get ready to D-E-W, ret, R-H-E-T, or R-E-T if you will, depending upon what part of the world you're from. We'll be retting the bundles of flax to get the outer bark off. I brought down to the garden with me a bundle of flax that I had already retted, and this is the top end where all the seed bulls are gone from, and this is the root end of the bundle. I'll see if I can get closer for you. So this is the root end, and I'll work my way up the bundle. I'll go slowly so the camera can keep up with me. And we'll go up to the seed end of the bundle. This is a different variety of flax than the one we're doing this year. This particular variety of flax that you're looking at right now is called Avian, A-V-I-A-N, and I think it was developed in the Netherlands. It's an industrial flax. Let me show it to you a little bit here. If you look closely, you'll actually see the little fibers of flax. This has been fully retted and it's ready to be broken. What they call breaking the flax. We break the flax on a device, a wooden device that just breaks. It breaks these stems so that you can get the fibers out. But we're going to go into that in great detail and show you how that's done. But I don't know if you can see the fibers. If you can see those fibers, that's what we're going to be spinning. They have to be combed, and then they get spun on the spinning wheel. So the flax we harvested the other day has a long way to go before we get to that stage. Might be a month or so before we get to that stage. But the idea is to get all of these bundles fully retted so that we can break the flax, which you will be seeing, and we're going to have little bundles of flax fiber that we'll take inside with us for the winter, and we'll sit next to the wood stove all winter, well, most of the winter, spinning all this flax into yarn. And then the yarn will get scoured and then bleached a little bit, not too heavily. And some of it might get dyed. I haven't made up my mind yet. And then finally it'll get woven, probably toward the spring. It's going to be a long time. It's a very long process. Meanwhile, we have a bunch of other fun stuff taking place here in the garden. The onion seeds are formed and they're black, and it won't be much longer and I'll be able to harvest the onion seed. You can see how it's black in there. I hope you can see it on the camera there. So I'm just going to let these dry up a little bit more, and then I'll be able to harvest and clean the onion seed. The leek seeds, though, take longer than onion seeds. That's kind of an interesting thing. They just take longer. I just checked one. They're not black yet. And I can tell you that the leek seeds are not ready to be cleaned off of those seed globes right until about January, maybe even February, when it's about time to start them. Whereas we'll be able to clean the onion seeds much earlier than that. The beet seeds are coming right along. We've never grown beet seed before. This is our first time. Our friend in Montana, we have a friend in Montana who saves beet seed. And so we thought we would give it a try this year. And so far so good. It looks like the bugs have started to leave the onion seed alone now. I've got some of these onion seed up at the house in a brown paper bag. We'll see. I guess I got kind of nervous and I just went into desperation mode and I pulled maybe 15 or so stems off. But I left some on the plant to see, just in case, see if that'll work. And Danielle had the idea of covering this batch of carrot seed. I've been talking about carrot seed. I hope I didn't say onion seed. Of carrot seed. We covered that with a net bag to keep the bugs off of that batch of carrot seed. So we have three possibilities. We have the stuff we've already cut off and put in the house. We have stuff that we've left alone, and then we have these seeds that are still under the net bag. Here comes Danielle. Hi, Danielle.
Good morning.
What are you going to be doing?
I'm going to be planting some fall crops, seedlings here. I have cauliflower snow mystique and in garden 2, and I'm putting in some Skywalker cauliflower also, but in a different spot. I think right here in Garden 3.
Look at the camera and smile. Can you smile at the camera?
Yeah.
This is lamb's quarter seed. It needs to grow quite a bit. And this is amaranth seed, and it needs to grow quite a bit. But amaranth and lamb's quarter are two members of the same family, as are beets and Swiss chard and spinach and quinoa and a bunch of others. But we have lamb's quarter and amaranth at the moment here, and I want to harvest seeds from both of those plants and clean them and roast them and use them as a seasoning. So that's going to be about it from down here for today. A shorter video because we have a lot of other things going on. But as far as the Flax project goes, the spinning, we're very adept at spinning flax. That's not a big deal. It's the weaving is probably the weakest link in the whole thing. We have just a little bit of experience weaving linen. We have a little more experience weaving wool actually than we do linen. But so you're going to be learning as we learn, I guess you could say. But that won't take place until March or April. And my idea is to have on this documentary a part A and a part B, or part 1, part 2. So the first of the documentary will be the one I'm working on now, which is the growing of the flax and then the processing of the flax. And then I can show you a little bit of the spinning into linen yarn. And then we're going to make another documentary entirely of in-depth on the spinning, and then you're going to be learning as we learn about the weaving of linen. So that's going to be quite a journey, and that'll be more towards springtime. But we're going to try to get this first documentary out maybe late fall. I've actually started editing. But yeah, it's all good. And then we're also going to be working on a documentary on wheat, which is going to take place over a much longer period of time. We'll be planting the wheat at the end of September or beginning of October. It's going to grow during the fall. It's going to go into dormancy. It'll get covered with snow. And then next spring it'll come back to life and it will grow into the summer. And then right about the 3rd week of July, we will be harvesting the wheat and drying it into sheaves and stooks. And then we're going to begin the process of winnowing and so forth, the wheat. So a lot of work, but it's, I'm finding that I really enjoy it, and I just thought if you'd want to come along, you can watch. Anyway, that's about it from here. So we'll catch you on the next one. Okay, bye.